Welcome to a mystical realm where the ancient Celts roamed, a civilization steeped in rich traditions, captivating beliefs, and spiritual mysteries. The Celts, a group of tribal societies in Iron Age and medieval Europe, were renowned for their unique cultural and spiritual characteristics. Their world was one where the physical and spiritual intertwined, where gods walked among men, and where every mountain, river, and forest held a divine presence. This was a culture that held a deep reverence for the natural world, seeing divine forces at play in every aspect of life. The Celts lived in harmony with the rhythm of the earth, their lives punctuated by the changing of the seasons, the cycles of the moon, and the shifting patterns of the stars. Their spirituality was not confined to temples, but was instead woven into their daily lives, their beliefs shaping their interactions with the world around them. They were a people of great passion and creativity, their vibrant art and intricate mythology reflecting their deep connection with the world of the spirit. Their epic tales, filled with heroes, gods, and mystical creatures, speak of a people with a rich imagination and a profound sense of the mystical. The Celts were not a unified nation, but a collection of tribes spread across Europe, each with its own customs and traditions. Yet, they all shared a common spiritual heritage, a belief in a world that was as much spiritual as it was physical. The wisdom of the Celts was preserved by the Druids, a class of learned individuals who served as priests, philosophers, and teachers. They were the keepers of the Celtic spiritual tradition, their teachings and practices shaping the beliefs of the Celtic people. As we delve into the spiritual realm of the Celts, we will explore their fascinating pantheon of gods and goddesses, uncover the significance of their sacred rituals, and discover the spiritual symbolism that pervaded their art and daily life. Join us as we embark on a journey to uncover the fascinating world of Celtic religion and beliefs. The Celts, with their deep reverence for nature and the unseen realms, held a complex spiritual worldview. This ancient civilization, stretching across Europe from Ireland to Turkey, was home to a people who saw divinity in the world around them. Their religion, rich and vibrant, was a polytheistic one, filled with a pantheon of gods and goddesses who embodied the forces of nature and the seasons. In the Celtic world, there was no separation between the physical and spiritual planes. The gods walked among them, in the rustling of the leaves, the flow of the rivers, the whisper of the wind. Each deity had a distinct role, their stories woven into the fabric of Celtic life and culture. Let's delve into the heart of the Celtic pantheon and meet some of these divine figures. First, we encounter Danu, the mother goddess. She was the essence of earth and water, the life-giving force that nourished the land and its people. Her children, known as the Tuatha De Danann, were a tribe of gods, each with their unique abilities and attributes. Next, we meet Lugh, the youthful warrior god. He was a master of all arts, a hero known for his skill and cunning. Lugh was the embodiment of light and sun, his bright spear symbolizing the summer's warmth and the promise of a good harvest. Then we find Cernunnos, the horned god of the forest. Enigmatic and powerful, he was the guardian of animals and the natural world. Cernunnos represented the cycle of life and death, a reminder of the eternal interplay between the physical and spiritual realms. These gods and goddesses were not distant figures to be feared, but were part of everyday life. Their stories taught, their names invoked, their powers harnessed in rituals and ceremonies. They were the patrons of arts, crafts, and professions, their divine favor sought in every endeavor. The Celtic deities were also deeply linked with the natural world. They were the rivers and mountains, the forests and the seas. They were the changing seasons, the cycle of life and death, the very air the Celts breathed. This deep reverence for nature was a cornerstone of Celtic spirituality, shaping their worldview and their relationship with the world around them. The Celtic pantheon was vast and varied, each god and goddess holding a unique place in the spiritual landscape. Their stories, rich with symbolism and meaning, were passed down through generations, shaping Celtic culture and identity. Discover the intricacies of their pantheon and the significance of these divine figures in Celtic culture. As we journey deeper into the Celtic world, we find a civilization that celebrated the sacred in the ordinary, where gods walked among men, and the veil between the physical and spiritual was as thin as a whisper. Delve into the mystical rituals and ceremonies that were central to Celtic spirituality. As we journey through time, we encounter a civilization that understood the rhythm of the earth, the cycle of the seasons, and the ethereal dance of life and death. At the heart of Celtic spirituality were the annual festivals, marking the turning points of the solar and lunar year. These were times of gathering, celebration, and ritual, each with its own unique customs, traditions, and significance. Imagine the vibrant celebration of Beltane, the festival of fertility and renewal, marking the arrival of summer. The Celts would light bonfires, symbolizing the life-giving power of the sun. Dancers would weave around the maypole, their steps tracing the intertwining patterns of life and growth. Cattle would be driven between the fires as a protective ritual against disease and to ensure prosperity in the coming year. Contrast this with the solemnity of Samhain, the festival of the ancestors and the Celtic New Year. As the days grew short and the nights lengthened, the Celts believed the veil between the worlds thinned, allowing spirits and fairies to cross into the mortal realm. They would set places at their tables for the departed, offering food and drink to honor their ancestors. Bonfires were lit, not only to ward off evil spirits, but also to guide the souls of the departed. The festival of Imbolc, held in early February, was a time of purification and renewal, marking the beginning of spring. The goddess Brigid, patroness of healing, poetry, and smithcraft, was particularly revered at this time. Fires were lit and special foods prepared, as the Celts welcomed the returning light and the promise of new life. Then we have Lughnasadh, the festival of the first harvest, held in early August. This was a time of feasting and games dedicated to the god Lugh. The Celts would gather at hilltops to hold fairs, trade goods, and participate in games and contests. It was a time to celebrate the bounty of the harvest and the fruits of their labors. These festivals and many others were not just mere celebrations. They were deeply spiritual events, connecting the Celts to the rhythms of nature, to their gods and goddesses, and to each other. They provided a structure to their year, a rhythm to their lives, and a deep sense of belonging and community. Witness how these festivals honored the cycles of nature, ushering in transitions and fostering community bonds. In our fast-paced, modern world, perhaps we can learn something from the Celts: to slow down, to honor the turning of the seasons, and to reconnect with the natural world around us. To remember that we are all part of a larger, interconnected whole. And perhaps most importantly, to celebrate the simple joy of being alive. Uncover the symbolism embedded in Celtic art, from intricate knotwork to spirals, reflecting their interconnectedness with the natural world. This deep connection to nature was not just a passive admiration, but a profound spiritual bond, woven into the very fabric of their lives. Every tree, every stone, every river held a sacred essence, a divine spark that breathed life into their beliefs and practices. Celtic art, a magnificent tapestry of intricate designs and motifs, was more than mere decoration. It was a language, a narrative that encapsulated their worldview. The famous Celtic knotwork, with its endless loops and intertwining patterns, was a symbol of the eternal cycle of life and the interconnectivity of all things. Spirals, another common motif, represented the cyclical progression of time and the seasons, embodying the Celts' understanding of the natural world's rhythms. But Celtic spirituality was not confined to symbols and motifs. It found its most profound expression in the Druids, the spiritual leaders of the Celtic people. The Druids were revered figures, entrusted with the sacred duties of conducting rituals, preserving wisdom, and serving as intermediaries between the people and the deities. They were the custodians of Celtic spirituality, guiding the community in their religious practices and beliefs. The Druids held an intimate understanding of the natural world and the unseen realms. They believed in the existence of the other world, a parallel dimension where the deities and ancestral spirits resided. This belief was central to their spiritual practices, from the veneration of sacred sites believed to be portals to the other world, to the celebration of festivals marking the thinning of the veil between the worlds. Druidic teachings also emphasized the concept of awen, a divine inspiration or illumination that could be attained through attuning oneself with the natural and spiritual realms. This was a guiding principle for the Druids, shaping their practices and their role within the Celtic society. Druidic practices were diverse and multifaceted, incorporating divination, healing, and mediation. They used various tools such as ogham staves for divination and sacred herbs for healing. They were also peacemakers, resolving disputes within the community and maintaining social harmony. So, as we delve deeper into the world of Celtic symbolism and spiritual practices, we begin to see how intertwined they were with every aspect of Celtic life. From the intricate designs adorning their artifacts to the revered druids guiding their spiritual journey, the Celts cultivated a profound connection with the natural world and the unseen realms, fostering a spirituality that was as vibrant and rich as the lush landscapes they roamed. Explore the Druids, revered as spiritual leaders and keepers of ancient wisdom, whose teachings and practices shaped Celtic beliefs. As our exploration into the religion and beliefs of the Celts draws to a close, may the echoes of their spirituality resonate within us. Through our journey, we have delved into the complex spiritual worldview of the Celts, where gods and goddesses embody nature's elements, seasons, and forces. These divine entities, such as the mother goddess Danu, the youthful warrior god Lugh, and the enigmatic Cernunnos, guardian of the forests, held significant roles in Celtic culture and were revered through elaborate rituals and sacred sites. Our expedition has also led us through the mystical rituals and ceremonies at the heart of Celtic spirituality. The solemnity of Samhain, the vibrant celebrations of Beltane and other festivals, all honoring the cycles of nature, played pivotal roles in ushering transitions and fostering community bonds. Moreover, we have uncovered the deep symbolism woven into Celtic art, where intricate knotwork and spirals reflect the Celts' profound interconnectedness with the natural world. We have also explored the influential role of the Druids, revered as spiritual leaders and keepers of ancient wisdom, whose teachings and practices significantly shaped Celtic beliefs. As we conclude, it's clear that the echoes of Celtic spirituality continue to reverberate in contemporary times. Their deep reverence for nature, the intricate spiritual worldview, and the rich symbolism all continue to inspire modern spiritual practices and artistic expressions. The Celts' legacy is a testament to their profound understanding of the natural and unseen realms, and their ability to weave these elements into a vibrant spiritual tapestry that transcends time. And so, as we step back from the mystical realm of the Celts, may their spiritual echoes continue to resonate within us, inspiring reverence for nature and a deeper connection to the mysteries of the unseen realms.